afternoon and welcome fans to Shelby, Ohio, and live continuing coverage of tournament basketball on the OH Report. David Wilson welcoming you to our broadcast coverage of this Division 6 district final here at the home of the Whippets in Shelby, Ohio. A couple of number one seeds battling today for a chance to make it to the regional round. It'll be the Colonel Crawford Eagles at 22-2 against the defending Division 6 state champs, the Columbus Grove Bulldogs. They are 21-3 on the year. Colonel Crawford played here on this court on Wednesday night. They knocked off Ashland Crestview 57-26. Meanwhile, Columbus Grove defeated Cary 53-20 over in Lima, and so they make the long trip here today to Shelby to battle the Eagles in this district final. Coming up, we'll get our Burkhart Farm Center pregame show going in earnest. I'll be joined by Abram Capel for analysis and commentary. We'll check both teams and our impact players. That's when we come right back in just a moment. District final basketball right around the corner here on the OH Report.
We are CB Electrical, your local experts for safe and reliable electrical solutions. Whether it's summer, spring, winter, or fall, we've seen and done it all. Every service call, big or small, our expert efforts all stand tall. That's why at CB Electrical, we live by the motto, if it's a circuit, we can work it. Call to schedule service or request a quote online. Find us on Facebook, Google, and cbelectricohio.com.
I'm Steve Krall, president of First Federal Community Bank. And here at First Federal Community Bank, our playbook consists of the 3 C's: care, curiosity, and courage. Just like your team, our 3 C's strengthen our communities and our team here at First Federal Community Bank. On behalf of our team here at First Federal, we want to wish all of our area teams and coaches the best of luck this season. Yeah! Yes!
Running a small business isn't easy. Between work, family, and everything else, there's just not enough time in the day. Websites, Google, reviews, it all matters, but it shouldn't slow you down. That's where TMS Plus comes in. We make digital marketing easy, affordable, and effective. We handle your website, your Google business profile, listings, and online reputation, so customers can find you and trust you. That means less time chasing screens and more time focusing on what really matters: your family, your customers, you business. Sign up for TMS Plus Digital Essentials today and get a free 1-month half-page ad in Town Money Saver magazine. Consultation and design included. TMS Plus. Easy, affordable, effective.
Local sports deserve to be done right. We're built for the communities that support the game. This isn't about one season. Every season matters, because every game tells a story, and those stories don't stop at the final buzzer. We're here for every moment, big or small. Watch anytime, anywhere, on your schedule. And it's always free to watch. This is the future of local sports. This is the OH Report.
Welcome back, my friends, to our pregame show brought to you by Burkhardt Farm Center. Farmers serving farmers. We are at Shelby, and we are gearing up for the Colonel Crawford Eagles against the Columbus Grove Bulldogs in this district final. David Wilson joined by my partner, Abram Capel, former Buckeye Central coach. And Abram, great to be working this game with you today. It's already getting late in this tournament. District final, regional appearance up for grabs. You have two #1 seeds here today. Set it up for us. Really can't get any more competitive.
No, it really can't. And honestly, this is any basketball fan's favorite time of the year, right? Whether it's high school or college, as you kind of get into postseason. District final Saturday was, I have a lot of core memories from that Saturday in my coaching tenure, and I'm excited. And I think this is going to be, everything that all these fans hope for. Two #1 seeds, both incredible resumes and records thus far. And like you said, with a regional berth on the line, I think anything goes today. So I'm excited to be able to call this with you, be able to be in attendance and, see what these teams have to offer.
It is filling up here at Shelby. We expect a capacity crowd here. And one thing about these teams that I know you noticed as well, Abram, is that they are very evenly matched. You look at their offensive and defensive numbers, record-wise, just acumen on both ends of the floor. Couple of very similar teams looking at each other in the mirror.
No, absolutely. And you kind of took the words out of my mouth. It is almost looking at a mirror image of one another. Both are kind of led, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but both each have a really strong post player and, a nice wing with almost eerie similar stats even amongst them. And the records are also similar. So, I think it's evenly matched across the board, and we'll dive a little bit deeper into that.
Yeah, let's do it right now. Let's talk about the visitors from Columbus Grove. They are the defending state champs in Division 6. They walked away with the state title last year, defeating Rootstown in the state final by a final score of 65-46. They're coached by Brian Schrader, and you see some right here. As we mentioned, a big win in the semifinal, Abram, a 6-game winning streak coming in. Schrader has them at 21-3, a little bit of a different look from last year where they really depended on one player, Lauren Akmoudi, to carry the offensive load. They're a little more balanced this year.
No, they absolutely are. And with the graduation of the Division 6 Player of the Year, what they've been able to do without her and basically be back at the same level, he's created almost a dynasty, right? I was, able to coach against him in 2021, but, and I had some stats kind of wrote down. They're 69-11 over the last 3 years, and one of those includes a state championship. So for them to kind of be back in, familiar water, competing for another district title, Coach Schrader's definitely going to have his kids ready to go and prepared for this moment this afternoon.
Well, there you look at our featured player on the Columbus Grove side. It's Nicole Nesby. She is a 6-foot senior, averaging a double-double, 14 points and 10 rebounds. She is 6 rebounds away from 800 in her career, so she'll almost assuredly go over that number today. But she's a multi-talented player, and the thing that jumps out to me, Abram, is 58%.
Yeah, 58% from the floor, and while being now the primary focus for other teams' defense, right? Last year she kind of probably played second fiddle, but now you're the primary focus, and to still put up double-double numbers at 58% from the floor. Obviously she'll be first team All-Ohio when that comes out, but a special player and a special career, and now it's kind of her turn to carry the torch and be the reason that they get another district title in their trophy case.
Nesby scored 15 points in their district semifinal against Cary on Wednesday night. All right, let's move on to Colonel Crawford. The Eagles 22-2. They won the Northern 10 Conference with a 13-1 record. They bring a 13-game winning streak into this district final, and they really left no doubt against a tough Crestview team on Wednesday night. They raced out to a 17-4 lead, and you know as well as anybody as a former coach, Abram, that it's tough to dig out of a hole like that in tournament action, and they rode that onto an easy win.
No, absolutely. And, Coach Powers' message, I'm sure, was, going into that game, jump out to an early lead, take care of business, and maybe you get to rest some of your starters the back half of that game so you have fresh legs in a 2-game week. And you had kind of mentioned riding a 13-game winning streak. They definitely have been playing their best ball as of late. Regular season win over Seneca East, and in a conference game by 28 points. And Seneca East is also playing for a district title today in Division 7. So that kind of goes to show the level that the Lady Eagles have been playing with the last month of the season.
Zach Bauer is in his 4th year as the head coach of Colonel Crawford. He's been in the district and former boys assistant coach for a number of years, but has this girls program flying high. And we'll check our impact player for the Eagles, and young lady that appeared on the OH Report postgame show on Wednesday night, Emmi Powers. She's just a sophomore. 23 points in that game against Crestview. She pumps in 14. You see her right there from her appearance as our MVP. We may talk to her again before this day is over, but she's a dynamic player.
No, she is, and I've had the ability to kind of follow Emmi the last couple years, and one on at the college level in terms of a potential recruit. Emmi, the thing about her, and we'll be able to watch this, is she plays so much bigger and stronger than what she is. I mean, she's got a good build, 5'9", 5'10", but truly she plays like she's 6 foot, and she's strong and physical off the bounce. So a really special player. I'm excited to watch her compete, in a game like this afternoon.
Powers, as we mentioned, scored 23, so she's clearly a prolific offensive player, but stats that I wrote down, Abram, 59 steals on the year, 10 block shots. That kind of goes to your point about playing maybe a little taller than you really are.
No, she's definitely got the wingspan and the athletic ability, and she can get off the floor. 10 blocks, and some of those steals I'm sure come from tip passes and being active in the passing lane. She's a dynamite player. Excited to see again what she has to offer this afternoon. And she's rocking Kobe's, so I'm a fan of that. You get some style points in my book if that counts for anything.
When you look at these teams, precious few losses. You can take from this what you will. It probably means nothing at this juncture, but one loss on the Colonel Crawford schedule was against Cary. That was back on the 3rd of January, 52-46. That happens to be the team that Columbus Grove just blew out on Wednesday night, 53-20. In fact, Columbus Grove beat Cary twice during the regular season. So from a common opponent standpoint, you can draw whatever conclusions you want from that. Well, we are just a few moments away from the start of this district final between the Eagles and the Bulldogs. We'll take this time out and be back with the starting lineups, the keys to the game, and the tip-off on the OH Report.
We are CB Electrical, your local experts for safe and reliable electrical solutions. Whether it's summer, spring, winter, or fall, we've seen and done it all. Every service call, big or small, our expert efforts all stand tall. That's why at CB Electrical, we live by the motto, if it's a circuit, we can work it. Call to schedule service or request a quote online. Find us on Facebook, Google, and cbelectricohio.com.
Pregame show continues. Taking a look there at some of the Colonel Crawford boys basketball players who've come over to support their classmates in this district final. It's Colonel Crawford against Columbus Grove in girls varsity basketball, this district final. Let's get into the keys to the game. Abram, we'll see what these coaches think might be big factors in this game. We'll start with the visitors. Nope, we'll start with Colonel Crawford. The Eagles 22-2. What do you think might be big factors today?
You know, I think the biggest thing is to come out to a quick start, right? You know, kind of settle any nerves that you potentially have. You know, what you had noted here was live in the moment. Don't think about what's ahead or behind. Just make the play that's in front of you. And I think that's a great testament to kind of live by there. Just kind of play and just do what you've done so far to get you here. I'll let you take the second one.
Concentrate on the fundamentals. I think every coach in America would say that in a big game. You got to try to just not turn the ball over, right?
No, absolutely. And, you know, again, go back to what I just said. Do what you got you here. You know what I mean? Like, you're a reason that you're 22-2. So just continue to kind of build out those building blocks that you've already had and, you know, just play within the game. Play within your means and how Coach Bauer has you prepared to play in a game like this.
All right, now for Columbus Grove, Brian Schrader in his 13th season. They went all the way last year. Took home the hardware in Dayton. Handle the pressure. I think Colonel Crawford's reputation precedes them, Abram, as far as the full court pressure, high intensity defensive game. And Brian Schrader wants to see his team move the ball side to side, get that defense moving.
No, absolutely. And that is Crawford's MO, is to try to turn you over and generate easy points in transition. So very important for the guards of Columbus Grove to handle that pressure, use pass fakes, and be strong with the basketball to make sure there's not any live ball turnovers.
Colonel Crawford will go with Sailor Holt, Lila Plesac, Emmi Powers, Robin Amon, and Lexi Dure. Columbus Grove, Bryn Calveledge, Elise Fortman, Allison Thompson, Kendall Pulte, and Nicole Nesby. We are set for action in this district final. The officials for today's game, Ryan Bowers, Charlie Ridenauer, Dana Shoulders. They will make the impartial calls in this afternoon's game. We're glad you're with us. Hope you enjoy our broadcast presentation of high school hoops here on the OH Report. And away we go. Emmi Powers with the ball in her hands. First possession for Colonel Crawford. The Eagles trying to unseat the defending state champs, and an early foul. I think they'll get Bryn Calveledge on the personal. That'll be her first and the team's first. And again, Colonel Crawford averaging 52 points a game. Columbus Grove 53.
Yeah, and you see here, you know, Columbus Grove starting in an extended 2-3 zone. That's kind of been Coach Schrader's, you know, almost, that's just what he is. That's his identity. So
a lob down low. It was caught down there by Lexi Dure, but she was on the baseline, so it's a turnover against Colonel Crawford on that possession. Here come the Bulldogs for the first time. We're at Shelby High School, the host of this district final. Nesby's first touch.
Interesting matchup, too, with Powers on Nesby.
And a little too strong. And the rebound yanked down by Robin Amon, and a foul on that rebound. The three ball was chucked up there by Calveledge. I think they did not call a foul there. It was a tie-up, and so Columbus Grove kept possession. 7:14 to go. We have no score. Columbus Grove ball on the arrow. Nesby comes out to get the ball. They push her out to the corner. Amon on her, and they got her on a double dribble.
Yeah, got her on a double dribble, and I'm not really sure, other than maybe the ball touched her body, and that's kind of where the call came from. You know, something to note here, Crawford is fronting Nesby defensively, so really going to try to limit her touches and try to take her away today.
Nesby averaging 14 points and 10 rebounds, so she'll be a target defensively. Emmi Powers had it knocked away and then stolen away by Columbus Grove's Kendall Pulte. Powers recovers defensively, but a turnover against the Eagles, their second.
And Paulty just kind of used their length there, tipped it away. Fortunately for Crawford, able to respond and not give anything up in transition.
Allison Thompson, the driving layup, offensive rebound by Paulty. Columbus Grove continues the possession, moving it fast. Calvelage shut off by Plezak, turns around and uses the glass.
Really good take there.
Two.
Yeah, really good take there by Calvelage. Kind of drove the baseline, was caught.